TJ is showering the pee off.
That's what you should do when you've got pee on you.
Leo wanted to just make him like just sit in it for the rest of the day. Just live with that.
What a cruel thing you could do to him.
Leo's. I mean, we already know
that's
Leo's
a little
mean.
Insensitive.
Leo's already been mean to TJ several times this route. Like, it's really damning. But it's all like,
well, yeah, like we didn't get to go on a hike with him, which is something he really wanted because Leo cock blocked our friendship.
Yeah, I feel bad about TJ all the time.
Well, wait till we play TJ's route, and maybe he'll be awful, and maybe he's got dark secrets, and you won't feel sad about him anymore.
Yeah,
something like that.
I'm sure everyone does. But also, speaking of that, I think I mentioned incorrectly at some point that writing Leo's route fucked up Howley so much that he quit writing Echo and went on to write Ad Astra. Mm-hmm. And then somebody else, McSkinny, went on to take over writing Echo. Incorrect. It was TJ's route.
Oh.
He did write Leo's route, then he wrote TJ's route, and that's the one that made him quit.
Well, I'm going to look forward to that.
So, speaking of which, also I've spoken with McSkinny now, and he did confirm that he actually was referencing Fox in the Stable and fucking Route 65. Like, I wasn't just being a weirdo that was like, hey, I've heard of one thing with a horse and a fox before. Let's just embarrass myself in front of everyone. I'm like, no, I'm 100% correct.
So what you're telling me is you got your research wrong about the development of the game, but got your research right on the furry porn.
Yes,
yes.
Precisely.
You have a degree in the furry porn, but not in.
He started watching 65 and just started calling out that like we apparently were just getting every single fucking reference. Some of which I didn't recognize, so you must have said them, like something about the McDonald's.
Yeah,
toys.
No, they referenced McDonald's toys, and they mentioned something about it being like dinosaurs, and I was like, are they fucking talking about that 2000, like the year 2000 movie Dinosaur? And I guess that was accurate, which I was very stoked to hear.
Yeah, it's like why do they recognize every single thing I'm talking about?
Because we're cool dudes.
I'm just amused by the extent to which.
And you must be a cool dude too. Yeah, and if you're watching this, you might be a cool dude also.
I'm very amused to just have confirmation of just the extent to which Route 65 is written like a little period piece of like 7 years earlier than the rest of the story or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just really funny. It's a time. That's exactly what they meant. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, especially since it's like our time period. It's fun. It is funny as we get older, seeing more and more things that are like made specifically for like the time period in which we grew up as like a period piece. Yeah, it's strange to be involved in that now.
Yep.
Remember Beanie Babies, guys?
We're aging. I prefer not to remember Beanie Babies.
Dude,
remember the McDonald's Inspector Gadget toy where you get all the different pieces of Inspector Gadget? So you would just go home with like. Do you remember
the cartoon show Inspector Gadget? Because fucking that's not around anymore.
Yeah. It was just like it was.
Go home with a leg. Yeah. I got a leg in my McDonald's meal.
Like it's cool that they all combined into a big robot thing, but when you think about it, if you just went home with the leg.
It's not even like a Megazord. It's like a fucking Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, it was like a switchblade or whatever, but like a toy thing. Like it had some sort of mechanism that did something, but it was still.
I remember I never got all the pieces. I just had a bunch of like hands and feet and stuff.
That was one of the things that my mom would get really introduced. She would construct the whole Inspector Gadget, and she would also constantly try to play the fucking McDonald's thing. The Monopoly thing?
The McDonald's Monopoly game.
Which was ultimately revealed to be a scam anyway, and that no one really won. And so it's like, she fell right into all those things. It's like, they're supposed to be manipulating me, Mom. I'm the child with no impulse control.
Dude, parents have the money. They know they're manipulating them to buy stuff for you and also for them so they can be validated as parents.
Like, I grew up with video games, so I never really played with toys. So, like, the McDonald's Happy Meal stuff was, like, meaningless to me.
I never played with toys because I was born an adult.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Anyway, we've given TJ long enough to finish the shower. At this point, he's wasting water.
Burger King Pokemon toys were the best. There you go. That's all I gotta say. That was the best meal toy of all time. And I played with all of those, and I wish I still had them. And that's it. They're never gonna beat it. The end.
We sit around in a sort of circle in the motel room. Leo and I on the beds, Kudzu in the chair. We keep our voices low as we discuss what's going on, not wanting TJ to hear. This doesn't make sense. TJ's one of the most rational people I know. How is this affecting him?
We don't know what's causing it, though.
I don't know. I thought it was drugs or something.
They all just took the same drug.
I don't know. Or maybe they're all crazy because of drugs and something set it off? Well, TJ is religious.
Yeah, that's why he's crazy. No, I'm just
So?
kidding. What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah. So if he believes in that, then maybe it could go further than that?
Oh, so you're saying he's gullible. That's what he's trying to say, then.
What, someone got him to go through all this via the power of suggestion?
I mean, I think TJ's a smart kid, but there are those people that go to those mega churches and, like, think that they feel like...
Yeah.
They, you know... I don't know. Phantoms and stuff.
I'm also surprised... Like, I know that being religious is, like, TJ's, like, most, like...
That is his most dominating
It's his most
trait.
defining trait in
Yeah.
the party. But I would be, like... I am shocked by the apparent confirmation that maybe Leo isn't. Because there's just, like, several traits, like, he lives in a small... He lives in a small Western-style town where... seemingly you'd expect most characters to be religious, and he's coded as Mexican with a large family, and he's conservative with those weird anti-college comments and everything. I'm like, I'm shocked that didn't all add up to Leo being from a religious family.
Hey man, you know, people are complicated and multifaceted, but no,
Yeah.
I totally get why you would assume he was going to be like
Yeah.
Catholic or something.
I figured he'd also be religious. It's just that, like, TJ's like a lot. TJ's just so much.
Well, maybe it's one of those things where I've seen so much, like, I don't believe in God anymore. You know, he's one of those kids.
Yeah.
Maybe.
In fact, the fact that out of our party, the TJ is the one religious one is just like, that's just an interesting quirk, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like Jenna, I wouldn't think would be like Jenna just seems like right out the gate she wouldn't be, and also she's
Right.
like she's been through some
'Cause they're
shit. She
native.
hates her family, and I just don't think she would be. Kudzu, I have no clue, but I wouldn't guess that.
I already incorrectly thought he was a veteran.
Yeah, it's the vest, dude. For some reason it's the vest. I don't know.
This is weirdly jacked and disciplined, but he also
Yeah,
just wants to hide in
it's
the
the
country
discipline.
and work on his rock garden.
Yeah, he seems like the PTSD aspect too. Yeah, Carl definitely isn't religious. The only thing he prays to is his bong, you know. And then
and his big dick goth GF demon imaginary girlfriend.
he has an altar to her in the closet.
That's a possession happen.
And Chase, I feel just kind of neutral on. Like, he could just be like a Christian. I don't know. I could see it just kind of as a background detail. It doesn't necessarily play into anything or matter. Like, Chase can be whatever you really want him to be. I mean, like Leo, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, we just live in such a frustratingly religious country, and they're living in an area where the religious percentage seems like it'd be even higher.
Well,
and so it's
Keith and I live in the
surprise.
We live in California. We live in the Bible Belt of California, so we also live near a lot of small towns that, like I keep mentioning, where that is the predominant thing. Where just being religious comes with living in a small town.
Yeah.
So
I shake my head.
we're stereotyping.
No, that doesn't make sense.
People in cults do it all the time.
But he's not in a cult. It's all kind of the same thing if you think about it. You know, religion, college. Your whole family is... Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Your whole family is super religious, Leo. Yeah, so I have first-hand experience with all of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Okay,
sometimes sometimes that spawns the opposite. Because like I said, if you've seen some shit and then you realize it contradicts like all the stuff that everyone has taught
or if
you.
you're gay.
Yeah, there we go. You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't expect, like, it's one of those things where if someone tells me that they're gay, I kind of just assume they're not super religious. But once again, I have a friend who's gay
People surprise
who is
you.
super religious. So I like, you know, people are complicated.
Christian furries. That's a whole thing. I wrote a thing at some point. I don't remember if that's my ad Astra script or what, but like I talked about the idea that like, you know how like sometimes a character is accused of being like anachronistically forward thinking for like a fantasy or a period narrative.
Yeah,
it's like, but people were saying stuff like it back then. Here's a shorthand trick for making a character really forward thinking and so on, for that seems like ahead of their setting or whatever, and have it not break the setting. Make them queer.
Yeah.
Like by default, if you're like that, you already are questioning the world around you because you're otherized by it, and that makes it, that instantly justifies so much thought that would be seen as anachronistic otherwise.
Yeah, because you're basically forced into a position where you existing contradicts like the entire worldview. So that implies that you have the ability to break through the walls of all the worldviews that currently exist around you, because you already exist beyond it. Like you're already like an anomaly in and of yourself. And
despite how much stories pretend otherwise, like gay people always existed.
Yeah, dude.
They were always just quietly looking around themselves like, yo, what the fuck? Just seeing what was like the rules and the setup and expectations and beliefs around them, and just having to deal with that forever.
I like how people are like, oh, gay people are a recent development.
Yeah,
I'm
trendy.
Like, the Greeks, guys? You want to talk about all of Greece, like, for the whole time, like Rome and all that whatnot? Like, that was a long time ago, guys.
Yeah, no, I think that the number of gay and trans people is pretty static throughout all of history. It's just how much they're more out and vocal open now, and so on. Like, there's a great... This is like a recycled argument at this point, but like there's a really good graph about left-handedness. Have you seen that? Where it has this curve, like it's climbing, and then it just flat, like plateaus and flat lines forever after it climbs.
Because they used to beat you for being left-handed.
Yeah, they used to force you to be right-handed no matter what. Like it was a problem. But then, what during that rise of perceived left-handedness going up, you would think like, "Well, it's just trendy to be left-handed." Like all these people are being indoctrinated to being left-handed.
Oh, but Ned Flanders.
But then once all left-handed stigma was gone, like it didn't go back down either. Like it just stopped rising eventually, because like eventually you just like had an accurate number. You had an accurate reading of how many people are left-handed that was not accurate before, because you were forcing them to hide or forcing them to just not be left-handed. And it's like that's stupid. That's the supposed rise people see it with queerness these days. It's just like, no, they're already there. They're just hiding.
Yeah. If you actually look into it, it's just like there's all through, like, you read old literature, just gayness all up in there, man. You look at world history, gayness all up in there, man.
Achilles and Patroclus were just best buds.
Best
69 buds. Leo chuckles despite the situation. It makes me wonder if this is something more than what's in everyone's head, if even TJ is having it happen. Kudzu taps his chin from the chair he's sitting in.
What was it Duke was saying about his grandpa? Something about a curse?
Leo waves his hand like he's swatting away a fly. Uchika, speaking of shit like that doesn't make sense. Kudzu shrugs. I'm starting to wonder.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's happened that doesn't make sense already.
I fold my arms and look toward the bathroom where steam is wafting from TJ's shower. Well, stop wondering. I don't want you ending up like them. I frown and glance back at the bathroom before lowering my voice. Like TJ? Leo sighs. No, one of those fuckers probably freaked him out or something.
He did say he was seeing things.
Leo suddenly stands up from his sitting position on the bed. You know what? We should stop talking about this. We're leaving once he's done anyway. As if on cue, the water shuts off, and the automatic dryer starts up.
An automatic dryer.
We're getting lore. We're getting world building. Like,
how do you have like dryer?
So this happened in Ad Astra, but they were on a fancy alien planet, so we just figured that was like fun tech for them. But we're also setting up that in Echo, you have like It's like the equivalent of like the dryer you use on your hands in the bathroom, but for your entire body in the shower, because they're covered in fur, so that it can't really like towel off effectively.
I know people who groom dogs like professionally. So there's this thing called the kennel dryer, where it's just like a big tube you like hang on a kennel, because there's a lot of dogs you can't dry with a dryer because they're like they have a high cranial index, so they're like dogs like dogs that are genetically fucked, like French bulldogs and bulldogs, and like ones that can't breathe. So they basically have to make like a room, like you have to make a kennel that just fills up with like warm air to like dry them off in that kind of way. I feel like it would be like something similar, where there's just like a vent that just like starts to blow air into the room.
Yeah, I figure it's the end of the car wash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that.
It's built into the showers, and it also makes showers. It would make showers unbelievably loud. So like deeply frustrating.
You could never take a shower when someone's sleeping.
Yeah, you cannot secretly take a shower in a shared motel.
It'd also blow humidity into the entire room it's attached to.
Yeah. There are several downsides to this invention.
Yeah.
Right after that, TJ's meek voice pipes up from inside the bathroom. You guys still there? I call back gently, cheerfully. We're here, TJ. Leo sighs and moves to the window to look outside, pulling back the curtain just a bit. You think the others are out there right now?
Your friends?
Yeah. Jenna, Carl, Flynn, I guess.
If he counts as a friend.
I don't know why I hesitated with Flynn's name.
Yeah, you fucking do.
Leo silently stares out the window a while longer, the yellow light of the street light falling across his face momentarily. He lets it drop back into place. With any luck, they got the hell out of here when this started. Like I said, if they did, then they would have brought someone back.
Really? If anyone got out, then they would have. I don't know why I struggled with that sentence.
Leo doesn't say anything, electing to lift the gun that he's had clutched in his this entire time to examine it. In his hand, got it. Does that mean no one's gotten out of here? There's a momentary silence. Hello? We're still here, TJ.
Oh.
Kudzu shifts in the chair.
Well, a lot of us here have relations outside the town. Family and work in Peyton. In fact...
Kudzu checks his phone again.
I'm supposed to be into work in like 5 hours. Someone's gonna notice.
Maybe we should wait until morning. Someone has got to be looking for someone here by then. I don't know, people just don't show up for a day sometimes.
Yeah, they're like, that fucker.
That fucker.
No call, no show. Writing that in the books.
Leo thrusts the gun back into his waistband resolutely. Nope, relying on other people has gotten us nowhere. We gotta help ourselves.
You might have a point, Leo. Your friend looks in pretty bad shape. Like, mentally.
Then I'll carry his ass to the van. I'm leaving, and I'm not leaving any of you behind. Leo stops, and I follow his gaze to the bathroom where TJ stepped out. His fur is a little damp and spiky from his shower, and a fresh change of clothes. He stands there awkwardly, a moment, rubbing his arms as we all stare at him. Hey, how are you feeling? I'm fine. Things are more clear now. Leo smiles gently. Good, so you remember who we all are? TJ smiles weakly. Yeah, again, things are clear, and you guys don't have to talk to me like that. Like
coddling.
Like I'm crazy? Sorry. I clear my throat and try to assume a less I'm talking to a crazy person tone. Do you think you can make it to Leo's? We can stay here if you want. Wait for someone to find us. I ignore Leo's exasperated sigh from behind me. TJ glances at the bed. I'd like to just lay down, but... He looks back up at us, clasping his hands together. I I think something's happening here. Doing something to our heads? I don't know. Leo narrows his eyes. What do you mean? TJ looks off to the side. I just saw things that shouldn't be here. This has never happened to me before, so... TJ looks down at his hands. I remember someone was chasing me, trying to grab me, and I scratched at it. TJ looks back up at us. And it was Jenna. But I was too scared. I didn't know if it was really her or not, so I ran, and she didn't follow me.
Oh, I wonder if Jenna's freaking out in this timeline, too.
I imagine everyone just is.
Yeah, but Jenna gets violent.
A little bit, yes. Although maybe specifically to Carl. TJ's starting to shiver again.
What does she look like when you didn't know it was her exactly?
TJ frowns, opening his mouth to say something, then closes it again. Finally, he looks at Leo, apparently deciding to ignore the question. Can we find her? I can't stop thinking about it, and I want to make sure she's okay. His voice gets a little broken, but he manages to control his tears this time. Leo grimaces. We really need to go, TJ. The faster we can get help, the faster we can get everyone. We can help everyone here, including Jenna. The corners of TJ's mouth tug down in a frown, but he doesn't say anything. But if we see her on the way, of course we'll bring her with us, okay? TJ is still looking like he's trying not to cry, but nods quickly. Leo rolls his shoulders, keeping the gun pointed at the ground as he moves to the door. Now everyone, stay close to me. Chase, keep with TJ. Kudzu, you bring up the rear, got it?
All right.
We're just gonna head up to the street, the diner. Not far at all. I look up at TJ, trying to give him a reassuring smile. He's still looking at his hands, though, so I move over to him, putting an arm around his shoulder, gently guiding him to the door. Apparently my Leo voice is hilarious because I can't pronounce a single Spanish word correctly. And so it leads to an immediate dissonance every time I try. We're like, what the fuck did he just say?
Sorry, guys.
You're stuck with me. I'm all you get.
Yeah, I'm not any better with Spanish pronunciation, so y'all
No, I took German. I took German specifically because I knew Spanish was popular and even more practical. But I'm like, I can't fucking pronounce these words. It was my logic when I was in middle school. So I'm like, I'm going to try German instead.
I think it was...
Because French even seemed worse.
Oh, gosh. There was that YouTuber that... It's a YouTuber that you like. And I forget his name all the time. He's the one that did the video on the singing road. The musical road. And why it doesn't work.
The musical road?
The one that you drive on that has the ridges in it. That they fucked up the ridges. They made them the wrong... Now I just make no sense to anyone. There's a road you can drive on that has a bunch of ridges in it.
Yeah, like rumble strips.
Yeah, and if you drive fast enough, it's supposed to sing a song. Like it's like a but it's
like an elaborate OK Go music video scheme.
It hums like it's supposed to like hum a song, but they screwed up the architecture of it, so they made the ridges like either too far apart or something like that. So when you drive on it, it makes like it's just like a rumbling, unpleasant noise.
If I have not seen this video, but if I were to guess,
it's the one that
I would say it's by Tom Scott.
Yes, that's him. See, you knew.
That's his genre of video, yeah.
But apparently, I watched a video explaining that because everyone just thinks I'm stupid. Because like, oh, you can't roll your R's, you're doing it wrong. Apparently, that's actually a speech impediment. I have a speech impediment because what he's saying is like it's related to the the people that do like if I was like Jonathan, yeah. There's like a certain type of speech impediment that it's like the same mouth structure that you're trying to do, but it's just like you wouldn't really know you wouldn't really know you had the speech impediment unless you were born in a place where you had to speak Spanish. If I was born in a place where I had to speak Spanish, I would have a very prominent speech impediment because I'm not able to do the shape of my mouth that does the rolling R's. It's a genetic thing. So now I can like pull that up and be like, I'm not stupid, guys. I have a speech impediment.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have a speech impediment in that I obviously will like stammer or stutter or whatever so hard that sometimes I literally just have to reset.
I've been see like just then. I've been stuttering a lot lately, and I think it's a stress. It's like a stress thing, and also I talk really fast sometimes.
That's great. I'm always stressed.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'll be at work and I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
anyways,
you have to like sit there and start over because you can't save it.
Yeah,
it's like when you just like you just realize you're falling over and you're like, okay, we just need to fall well now. Like there's no coming back up from this.
There's certain words that I kind of slur a little bit on accident. Like when I say children, I can't say children, right? I just kind of like.
You can't say children, right?
It just like it feels like a mouthful when I say it. It feels like my cheeks are fat. Children. I can't hear a difference. Like I think people say children. I say children. Children.
Children.
Like those are children over there. I say children.
So anyway, I don't know how to say Spanish.
Yeah, anyway,
words.
sorry, yeah. And also have a speech impediment, so that's why I didn't take Spanish. That's actually why I didn't take Spanish, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to roll my R's, because my whole life I've not been able to do it. So I'm just like, I'm going to flunk if I do that. I have to take French now.
Yeah, I mean, no one taught me how, but I never succeeded either, so maybe I can't do it.
I can do the croissant, like that's the French thing, the croix. I can do that one. So I was set.
Language. The trek to the diner is... Okay, there's definitely more missing words. I've heard that the Leo route is unusual. It was almost like needs another editing pass, and I'm seeing it. The trek to the diner is practically silent compared to just a few hours ago. Aside from the nightlife, there's no screaming or shooting. The way there is fairly straightforward, straight down the main road. However, we decided to cut through the backyards instead of using the road. Leo tells us it's the best way not to be seen, if there are people around. TJ keeps close to me, wanting to keep my arm around his shoulder as we move, his eyes neither squeezed shut or staring straight ahead. It's like we're moving through a haunted house, and he's too terrified to look in either direction. It does get too difficult to keep him that close, though, especially as we start to have to move through bushes and hot fences. I opt to hold his hand instead. In any other situation, I'm sure TJ would have been running for the hills in embarrassment, but he clings to me like he's never going to let go. We all move in silence through the brush. The quiet is actually almost as unnerving as the shots and gunshots were. Shouts. As we move under a few stray trees, I try to keep the memory of seeing the corpse strung up out of my head. There's no way a demon, or whatever they said it was, did that. It was one of the town crazies, killed and then mutilated.
It was like one of the town crazies.
Yeah. Or it was one of the town crazies who killed and then mutilated that person to convince us of their delusion. Something's missing. There's 4 of us now, and 2 of us have guns. And 1 of us knows how to use them. We're gonna be fine. We get to the diner after only about 5 minutes. Through most of it, though most of it is spent floundering through the brush and old broken fences. Because of the meandering, we actually miss it and have to backtrack. Cautiously, we make our way around the diner to the parking lot and immediately spot the lone van. This is going to be the one from Route 65.
Oh gosh.
The crime van. When we finally do get there, Leo jogs up to his van, shoving a hand into his pocket.
Yeah, remember, we found out that that's Leo's van. Remember?
Yeah, it can't be. Whatever was happening was not good.
Yeah, but Leo owns the van, so that's kind of a bad sign, right?
But then he freezes and stares down. Fuck. Me and TJ arrive next to Leo, and TJ finally lets go of my hand. What is it? I ask, but I see the problem at the same time that...
I ask, but I see the problem at the same time that I do. So when he asks, he sees the problem at the same time he asks.
Oh, at the same time as he asks, I was like, hang on a minute. The 2 tires that I can see are brutally slashed and completely flat. I bet that the other 2 are the same way. Leo puts his hand up to his face, rubbing his eyes vigorously with his palms. What? Who did that? TJ reaches out and grasps my hand again. Kudzu moves over to the other side of the van to inspect it. Brian. Leo growls out the name. How do you know? Leo doesn't say anything, sitting down on his haunches as he stares at the completely destroyed wheel. Who's that?
TJ, you don't want to know. You don't want to know about Brian.
TJ asks quietly from beside me, studying my expression. I wonder if I should tell him. Probably not. If
Brian likes watching people be in fear, TJ is like the person he would want the most.
Him scared of seeing things is bad enough. We don't need TJ to be worried about an actual person who's out to kill us. I'd actually completely forgotten about the bear up until this point. Even though I got run over by Duke like 10 minutes ago. If it truly was him, then we're in even more danger than I'd thought. It's just another person we saw. He was acting weird. It's alright. It's not. It's not alright. TJ doesn't seem to take much comfort in that, staring at the tires. Whether or not it was Brian, whoever it was had done a number on the tires, completely tearing the rear tire to shreds. Kudzu comes from around the side of the van, shaking his head.
Other two tires are the same. How far do you think we'd get on flats?
Leo lets out a ragged growl, standing back up. Not far enough. We'd probably get to the lake before the goddamn wheels fall off.
I mean, like, the terrain around here would be terrible to try to drive with flats.
Yeah. Well, the lake might be better than here. Leo stands there, thinking. Should we just go back to the motel? Leo shakes his head. No, I'm not staying here another minute. I'd rather start walking, actually.
To the highway? That'd take half the day.
Well, we'd at least be getting somewhere instead of sitting around here. I look down Main Street, toward the darkness of the lake and desert. The ominous feeling I get is overwhelming, like I have no doubt that if we set out into that desert, we won't last long at all. I don't know why. I shudder violently, and TJ glances at me. He squeezes my hand, and I find it funny how quickly the role of the one doing the reassuring is flipped. I think we should go back to the motel. Leo finally looks back at me, and I see his expression soften. Hey, Otter. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna get us out of here, okay? I notice the same tone he'd used with TJ earlier. He sets his hands on my shoulders, but I honestly don't feel very reassured. TJ pipes up next to me. Carl's house has some cars. Maybe he's there, and we could leave with him and the car? Leo looks out towards the hilltop where Carl's house is at. We can't see it, since all the lights are apparently off.
What's the deal with Carl and his car? He can't drive, is that what it is?
He
totaled one of the cars.
They gave him a car, and he totaled it.
Because he's a rich boy. Yeah.
And
and his horns saved him.
Yeah, he survived with his impossible horns.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm sure they probably have other cars, hopefully.
Maybe.
If he's not there, we could just break in. So, yeah.
I see TJ blanch next to me. Even now, he's battling his moral values versus our need to survive. I still want to go back to the motel, hole up there and wait. Maybe sleep. I'd give anything just to be able to lay down somewhere safe right now. But now, with the new possible factor of Brian, I can see the benefit of getting the hell out of here now. Alright. Leo sets his jaw, narrowing his eyes. Let's go. Remember to stay close. We don't bother going off-road on the way to Carl's place, mainly because we'd just be trudging through the sagebrush full of ticks at that point. Leo figures that since Carl's house is the only thing up this road, aside from through the canyon to nowhere, no one would be driving there anyway. It takes us about 20 minutes to get there, walking in silence up the cracked road. The only sounds are panting. I'm the loudest, considering my short legs, and also that I'm probably the most out of shape compared to the others. When we're close to the mansion, I look back down towards Echo. Only a few of the streetlights dot the small town. I don't see anyone on the roads near them. I see a window or two here and there with their lights on, but no movement from within. We only hear two sounds on our trek. One is a blood-curdling scream coming from the town behind us, a woman. TJ reaches out again for my hand when that happens, and I squeeze it comfortingly. The next, a few minutes later, is a faint laughter coming from further away that rises in pitch before fading back out.
Oh god, that's horrible.
Shinji? I grimace, wondering if anyone else heard it, or if it came from inside my head. No one says anything, and I don't ask. By the time we reach the mansion, I'm covered in sweat, and I keep adjusting my shirt uncomfortably as it sticks to my chest and shoulders. The garage door is closed, and there aren't any cars in the driveway. I wonder if maybe Carl already took off. I hope he did. We stand in front of the door, and Leo holds out a hand to us, motioning us to be quiet. I watch his ears poke up to full extension before he moves to the glass at the door, cupping both hands over his eyes to peer inside. We wait a tense moment, and wonder if maybe he's looking in on something horrific. But after a while, Leo pulls back, shaking his head. Can't hear or see anything.
Maybe he left. Or he's with one of the others.
Kudzu offers quietly, standing just behind me. Maybe.
Maybe he's just fucking asleep like he was that one time.
Completely unknowing that anything's even happening in this world.
Maybe he's worried we're going to throw him another birthday party, so he locked himself up because he's trying to avoid that at all costs.
That is reasonable fear. Leo appears to be thinking hard. Then he reaches out to the doorbell with an index finger. He hesitates for a full 2 seconds before pressing it.
Dun, dun, dun. Who decided that was the doorbell sound? Like that is such a doorbell sound.
Is it?
Oh yeah, I've been to houses where they've had that.
Oh.
Dun,
I've never heard it. I don't think I've ever heard it before.
Dun, 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 dun.
I used to live next to a military base, and that was the wake-up alarm every morning.
That is just a well-known chime.
Yeah.
So I don't know why.
I'm just surprised that it worked.
One.
Like, isn't the power out? How did doorbells work?
I don't think it's power for doorbells.
Are doorbells? Do they just have is there a battery in a doorbell?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't think it's power. That doorbell. I don't think doorbells work on power.
Yeah, I don't know how doorbells work. I've never had to think about this before.
You're right. I've also never had to think about
I've
this.
never owned a house. Imagine owning a house. I don't even know.
In this day and age,
I never even
impossible.
I never even looked for the speaker. Like there must be a speaker, right? It's an audio.
Why does a doorbell work?
Why does a doorbell work? Button on the outside, but sound on the inside.
Where does it come from?
Why is it called oven? If you in the cold food and out hot, eat the food. Yes.
The first time you said that to me, I was so confused, and then you had to show me the meme because I was like, "What the fuck did you just say to me, Keith?"
I hate it. It's great. It's perfect. It's stupid. The fancy chimes ring softly from inside. I notice Leo's got a hand on his gun, watching through the glass intently. I also notice that not only is TJ pressing close to me, but so is Kudzu from the other side, his shoulders slightly ahead of mine.
Ooh, you're in a TJ Kudzu sandwich.
As Kudzu's protecting me, protecting TJ. Or Kudzu's protecting me, protecting TJ. Yeah.
Kudzu's protecting everybody. He's protecting us all.
Well, Leo's in front with a gun.
I feel like I trust Kudzu more than Leo.
Leo knows how to use the gun, but Kudzu's reliable.
Leo's a little unhinged, I think.
Kudzu's
been very consistent.
Kudzu didn't have any holes in his walls.
Yeah, or otter porn as far as we know.
It's almost like he's shielding me. A minute goes by before Leo tries again. feel like I'd call out or something. Like, if like you need to identify yourself in some way, because if I was Carl, I would not check the doorbell.
That is a really good point. Especially right now.
I'm not approaching the door.
Happening.
We wait another minute before Leo lets out a ragged sigh. Whether it's from relief or frustration, I'm not sure which.
Considering what's happening, you'd think some people from the town would have come here to loot or something.
Yeah. I look back at the town, its few glints of light staring ominously back. I'm able to suppress my shiver this time. I turn back just in time to see Leo try the door, and, to my amazement, it opens. Leo seems surprised too, and let's go to let the door slowly swing open. We all stare into the blackness beyond, a few lights from the TV glowing in the darkness, so he has power. Should we go in? Leo clears his throat. Well, we gotta get the keys somehow. Leo steps inside slowly, hand reaching along the wall to find a light switch. He finds it, though the light only illuminates the foyer. The housing going from goddamn dark to slightly less goddamn dark.
Advanced darkness.
Advanced darkness. It's just Carl's kitchen, though. Pieces of drywall on the... No. Nothing seems to be out of place as far as I can see. I start to step forward, too, but I can feel TJ hesitate on my hand. I look back at him. You alright? He's staring into Carl's house, his eyes wide. Yeah, I'm good. It's probably safer inside anyway, right? TJ swallows and finally steps in with me, Kudzu following close behind. The mansion is pleasantly cool against my sweaty fur. There's something strangely comforting about something as simple as the AC still running. A sense of normalcy. Leo stands there, looking around intently before moving to the cupboards. He starts opening drawers, searching the counter, looking for keys. I leave TJ to huddle on the couch before moving to the kitchen myself. Hey, can we look for Carl, too? Leo pushes close a drawer full of silverware. Yeah, give me a sec. I sigh. I'll be fine. It'll be faster if I look for him while you look for the keys. Leo shakes his head. Gotta stick together. I suppress another sigh and move back to the living room. Somehow, TJ's already managed to fall into a doze, curled up in a small ball on the couch.
How are you doing?
I look over at Kudzu, who's got his arms folded, watching me closely. I'm doing okay. It's just kind of tense. Kudzu gives me one of his rare smiles at that.
No kidding.
That's how much he smiles.
just a slight.
Imperceptibly. Yeah.
He's doing the George Clooney, where it's like, tilts his head down, looks up, slight smile. Like, he's doing the George Clooney smolder look.
I glance over at Leah, who's starting to rifle through some drawers full of what looks like open letters.
What's up?
I look back at Kudzu. I'm just thinking about Carl. If he's here or not. I glance back at Leo. Hey, Leo wants us to stick together, but... I look back at Kudzu. You want to help me find Carl? Maybe you sweep the upstairs and I'll have a look in the basement real quick.
No! No!
If we're splitting up, can we at least stay in pairs?
Yeah, just split up in pairs.
Can we not split into...
Pull a Scooby-Doo.
Like, do not go somewhere alone, and then Kudzu goes somewhere alone, and then just fucking poor, like, TJ is just alone with Leo, and, like, that just, like, primes us for the idea that, oh no, TJ went crazy, or TJ got attacked, or Leo left TJ, or who knows what.
Leo would fucking leave TJ.
Kudzu glances at Leo as well. It'll make things go a bit faster.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I really don't think anyone's in this house.
Kudzu nods toward the window facing the town.
From what I've seen, people are mostly wrapped up in their own issues.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's interested in looting here.
Well, alright. I'll take a quick look upstairs.
I smile. Cool. I'll take a quick look downstairs. Oh, and keep a lookout for keys, too. And with that, we both move to the staircase. I give Leo one last glance to make sure he's not watching before we both head into our respective upward and downward directions. Yeah, let's do it without even him knowing. That goes even better. He's not gonna freak out and leave TJ because he's looking for us or anything.
Oh no.
I flip on the light switch to head into the basement. And it's only when I stare into the dark hole I'm heading towards that I get the first inklings of fear. Right, I just decided to do the worst thing.
Yeah, like you chose the basement.
Yeah.
Too, which is
Meanwhile,
great.
In the ghost house, I shake my head, remembering what Kudzu had said. If anyone's here, it's definitely only Carl, and that would be a good thing. If we can find him, we can bring him with us, and we'll be on our way out of this hellhole. I tell myself this as I bounce quickly down the stairs, wanting to get this over with as soon as possible. Now in the basement, I glance around quickly into the several doors down here. A storage room, a weight room, a video game-looking room.
The room itself looks like a video game.
Yeah, it's pixel art on the walls.
Whoa, it's Mario Land in there.
There's Z fighting somehow. I start to realize that if Carl's here, he's most likely upstairs, and I'm really just giving the basement a cursory check. I start to rush through, not wanting to take too long in case Leo notices, if he hasn't already.
He's more afraid of Leo than he is of what's in the basement.
Healthy relationship.
Yeah, real healthy relationship.
I reach the end of the long basement hallway, and I'm left looking into a smaller room. There's a tiny white wooden door that I assume leads to the crawl space. I stare at it for a moment, not even thinking to bother with it, until I see little white hoof prints. There are several of them, like someone came and went dozens of times into and out of the crawl space. I look back behind myself, feeling a chill run up my spine, like someone's watching me. Looking back at the prints, I notice the little door is just slightly open. Could Carl be in there?
Well, how little is the door? Because Carl's a big boy.
I think it's just short.
Okay.
Because it's a crawl space door.
But secondly...
I think it's like those little doors you see sometimes at like the backs of closets.
Ew, creepy.
Yeah. It's in the basement. It's horrible. I hate it.
Don't you have one of those?
You looking for my weird door?
Yeah.
I don't have a weird door. You just have a weird door.
Yeah. So I have a weird door above my closet, guys.
Yeah, no.
Because my closet like juts out, so there's a flat surface at the top of it because there's high ceilings in our room. So technically, if I wanted to, I can climb on top of my closet. But there's also a very small little door on top of the closet that leads to the scary inside the house space that I don't like to go into. When we toured this house, the only thing in there, the only thing in that back weird crawl space, it's not a crawl space. It's like a place you can walk around. And it's really strange because in the back of the master bedroom, there's a door that leads into the weird space you can walk around in, and you basically can get into my room from there.
It wraps like all the way back around?
He does.
That goes in the opposite. You're talking about like it goes to the master bedroom, then the bathroom, then the closet, which is facing away from your room.
Yeah,
and then there's a weird
it wraps
door
around
there.
the entire house. It's really strange.
I've never been in there because it's
all that was in there.
So far out of bounds.
All that was in there was a CRT TV, just sitting in there, and it creeped me the fuck out.
They're watching at all times.
There was a CRT TV and a pile of coins. And I took some of the coins, and I thought maybe they'd be imbued with some spooky magic, so I used them to scratch scratchers, and I did not win anything, so I gave up on that.
It's so fucking weird that there's just like a weird negative space in this house.
Yeah, and it's weird because when you're in the house, you can't imagine where it would be. But I remember walking back there, and even like my bad spatial reasoning couldn't even describe to you how it structurally fits in this house. but when you're in there, you can see that little door, like the one in my room, from that back area.
You're describing the plot of House of Leaves.
It's fucking scary. There's probably a person living in there.
It physically makes sense.
It doesn't. It's like The Shining, where the hotel doesn't make sense structurally, or like Jerry's apartment in Seinfeld, how it doesn't make sense structurally in terms of the hallway being there.
Well, Carl's house also refuses to make sense, but then it went full crazy last time, so who the fuck knows? I remember that he'd been down here when we couldn't find him during the birthday party. At that moment, I catch a glimpse of something poking out from the door. It's skinny and hairy and very long, maybe 6 inches in length, which is average. I stare at it, wondering if it's a Halloween decoration that's stored under there. Chase! Leo's voice booming down the stairs makes me jump a foot in the air. I don't have time to stare at the black thing any longer, and instead stumble down the hall towards the sound of Leo's voice.
Oh.
We're just gonna move on from that. Cool. There's just something down there that we're not fully registering.
No.
The icy glare directed at me as I move up the stairs actually makes me cower a little bit. I'm not used to having his monolithic anger directed at me. I told you to stick together. His voice rumbles at me. Sorry, I found something. Well, Kudzu did too. Carl's upstairs. What? The thoughts of the hoof prints disappear from my mind immediately. He told me you were down here. Come on. More gently now, he grasps my hand and pulls me up the rest of the way upstairs. I'm just going to assume that Anne should be there. So many characters are together in this storyline. I thought it might be unusual that Jenna showed up last time, but now we have TJ and Carl.
Mm-hmm. You're collecting them all.
You voiced 3 characters.
Ooh,
yeah. 2. Right.
Well,
I voiced TJ. I lost track.
Well, I get Kudzu though. Kudzu and Carl. And if Jenna does show up, I got Jenna too.
Yeah, I lost track of how many characters were currently around. I'm expecting us to turn into Carl's room, but instead we go further toward the end of the hall. This is where we woke up from the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, was this where we fake woke up?
Yeah, this is where we fake woke up. That's why I'm confused.
I forgot we fake woke up. I think this is where Carl's parents' bedroom is. Carl's lying on the bed, looking over at TJ, who's in the middle of talking to him from the side. He glances our way as we enter the room.
Leo? Chase?
He squints at us, like he's having trouble focusing. I smile and sigh with relief. Carl! I move to the side of the bed, next to TJ, and that's when I see that the ram is covered in a white-looking chalk substance.
Carl, your coke habit has gotten out of control.
He was eating drywall again.
Oh, what the fuck?
I think he might have been snapped out of being in the thing.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of the prints downstairs. Or it's the dirt down there, I guess. Is it white? Why would it be white?
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. I don't get that.
It's all over his horns, and a bit of what looks like drywall is covering the pillow around his head. Okay. Maybe he just rammed his head into drywall. What happened? Are you okay? Were you just taking a nap? Talking a nap? Easy. Leo says to me, so I shut my mouth. TJ reaches out and grabs up one of Carl's big hands. The ram just stares at the ceiling now, looking just as confused as we are. I look over at Kudzu, who's standing a little far off to the side, like he did when we were trying to talk to TJ. What happened? I mumble at the raccoon, and Kudzu moves a little closer.
I don't know. I just came in and thought he was taking a nap or something.
I glance back at Carl, watching as TJ starts to gently pat his forehead. But he wasn't? Kudzu shrugs.
He was sort of... I don't know, he was sweating and mumbling. I kept calling his name, like, really loudly to the point that Leo came up.
Carl starts to breathe heavily and he covers his face. I think he's crying, so I step back a bit with Kudzu, not wanting to crowd him as TJ leans over and hugs him.
It wasn't until Leo touched him that he woke up, like, really suddenly.
Huh.
No, I'm fine.
Carl lets out a weird, shaky laugh as he sits up, wiping his eyes.
I was just having a really fucked up dream. Felt like I was in it for hours, man.
days even, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And Raven was there. I ate him.
Where's Raven?
Where's Raven? Who's Raven? Nobody knows a Raven, Carl.
Oh, gosh.
Carl leans back on his hands, staring at the ceiling again.
I had a dream that the town went fucking insane, and then I ran back here and sort of just went downstairs, and then I was gone.
Okay, so that happened again. He went into the crawl space and went into the infinite house.
Yeah, it's weird how it's like it's canon, like that. It like basically this is we're combining the storylines in this one.
Yeah, gone. Where? Carl shakes his head.
I don't know, a hotel or something. I've few hallways that went in circles, and I couldn't get out or wake up.
Carl looks back at us.
Even now, I don't know if I'm dreaming. At least there's people around.
Carl shakes his head. A cloud of dust coming up from the fur.
What are you guys doing here anyway?
Actually, the town did go a bit strange.
What? Really?
Leo seems to hesitate, clearly not wanting to rile up Carl more than he already is. Yeah, but we're trying to leave. Actually, that's why we're here. We need a car.
So, what I saw in the town, however long ago that was, it really happened?
Maybe.
Like, people were running around shooting and stuff.
Leo doesn't say anything to that.
Why do you need my car? What about your van?
It broke down. Carl narrows his eyes.
How?
Listen, we'll tell you everything on the way. We just need to get out of here now.
Yeah, Carl, what the fuck?
TJ picks up some bits of white chalk from Carl's head fur. I think Leo's just bad at lying, and he can just tell that Leo's lying. But Leo's lying because he doesn't want to acknowledge that somebody slashed the car, because that implies that someone's hunting them, and just continues to escalate things and also needs more explanation. So he's trying to get through this as fast as possible because he's impatient with everybody. But Carl's like, why is Leo lying to me?
Yeah, no, he should have just been like, somebody slashed our tires. Don't know anything about it, dude. Let's go. Like,
what's all over you? Carl runs a hand over his head, bringing it away to find it covered in white dust.
I ran into the wall.
Oh. Carl suddenly points at my arm.
Dude, what happened?
Huh? Oh. I lift up my arm and remember the cut that I got from the broken window. The fur is heavily matted down with blood, and the jagged cut is still oozing a little bit. We never, dealt with it.
Oh, gosh. I forgot about that.
I don't think it got wrapped or anything.
No, not even washed.
We're just gonna have fun with these stitches later.
Well, it's like, Carl, let's fucking go. Look at my arm. Let's leave now. Yeah, this is why we need to leave.
Everything is bad.
Everything is bad.
Let's go. Get out of Echo.
I swear, Keith, if something... Okay, if I came home and I was like, guys, we need to leave right now. Just trust me, we need to leave. I stick up my arm and it's all bloody and stuff. You guys better listen to me. Get in the fucking car right now. It's like, well, why though? It's like, no, trust me, get in the fucking car. We're leaving.
Long story. We'll explain, like Leo said. The ram stares at the cut, so I lower my arm. It seems to be finally settling in for Carl that things are not right. I've also realized that none of us are immune to the new hysteria setting into town. Is this what it was like for all those people living in the town over 100 years ago? I managed to think humorously to myself that I actually did do what I set out to when I started the project. It's pretty clear that it's happening all over again. So, you got your keys? We need to get the hell out of here and get this town some help.
Yeah. I'll get them from my room.
We're gonna get the fuck out of here, which is not gonna go well.
Never, ever.
Zero chance that we drive out of here and it's normal. And it's just a coin flip of whether or not it's a monster or something. Something's about to fucking happen.
I forgot about the monster that kills you if you try to leave town.
Yeah, something is not good.
Well, who dies, we'll figure it out next.